Okay, guys, you can thank Crunchyroll putting out a new show and not putting an air date, so I had to check any chart and see that when it aired, and then finding out that the next episode of Young Blackjack would air today. So basically, thanks to them, I actually are gonna review it today instead of waiting until Friday or Saturday, depending on the events. But yeah, and I actually wonder, does this name Young Blackjack has any connection to the Knight of Spades or Kluber? Uh, I'm pretty sure it's one of. I think it's the spade that is called Blackjack. I can't recall that all the cards meaning and stuff because I know they have like specific names and stuff. But let's get into the episode. And first of all, I recommend people to skip over the opening and also the part before the opening because that is actually shown later on in the episode. Not the opening, but the part, the beginning, the part before the opening. So yeah, only watch the opening if you really want to watch the opening. I don't normally watch opening unless it's Hacker Dolls. I really love Hacker Dolls. But let's talk about this. And it's oh man, it's actually really interesting because we see this episode starts with basically a train section not being able to close because there is a bus holding there. I'm not sure why it's holding there. If it is had a what's it called, not a breakout, but what's it called a breakdown. Yeah, a breakdown. Then there is a guy also holding there in his car. He obviously can't, like what's it called, backwards. Real. I cannot recall what it's called in English, but you most likely know what I mean because the train section being closed behind him, and then there is a little boy on a bicycle. And when I saw that, I instantly knew that there was going to happen something with this little boy, and there is happening something with him because he gets very hurt. Actually, he was in so bad shape that he actually the doctor that looked at him said that he had to have his arms and legs amputated. And I don't know with you, but if I was like asked, do you want to have your hands or your legs removed? It would be a very hard choice to decide, but from what I can gather, it's I would basically choose my legs because without my hands I cannot eat, I cannot do anything. I cannot even do this reviews. I can get to work without my feet just in a wheelchair, and I can get to my workplace through the elevator. But I cannot do my work without my hands. So yeah, it's actually really ugly that he has to lose both. However, we're lucky because there's this basically Maiko, an intern, has been asked to, like find people that will help them. But there's an issue because the other interns is basically like uh, protesting against the bad right for them, their basically their conditions, or not conditions, basically their work conditions. So they don't want to help him. But she's lucky that she finds a guy called Hasma, um, who yeah, he looks a bit strange because he's like he has black hair in one side and white hair in the other side, and a bit of his face is brown, like I think it's Jamaica brown, and the other side is white. And he has a lot of stitches, as we find out later in this episode. So yeah, what is up with that? But enough about that. Let's talk about what happens. Yeah, as I said, Maiko, she finds Hasana, and he basically like helps. out at the hospital, and when the doctor he says that this boy has to have his legs and arms amputated, he looks at it, like stands there a moment and basically like I don't know what he does. He basically like sees stuff, like I think I would say talking to the organs and stuff, and he then tells the parent who is crying really hard that he can he can fix the boy, but it will cost him 5 million yen to fix the boy. And however, if he isn't successful in fixing the boy, he will not require any payment. So yeah, and of course, let's say like the father is a bit reluctant to it, so he what is it called? He is a bit reluctant, but his wife, she basically convinces him, so they agrees to that. And Hasama he finds a doctor that is like yeah, that is actually a very common thing for doctors, or not common. It happens to some doctors that they basically get addicted, so they get high on some medical drugs. So yeah, this doctor he cannot handle blood. So yeah, he's kind of not fit for a doctor, and he's also in a bit of debt. But he basically Hasuma he tells him that he he want to borrow his what's it called uh, basically the operation clinic of his, uh, and he will pay him 500 grand. I think that is not. I'm not sure how much that is in money because I'm not that much in different things. I'm only in those 5,000 K and stuff. So yeah, and we see how amazing Hasama is, uh, basically with his hands and stuff, because what the doctor basically in like what would take or shall we say be impossible for others, he managed in a nick of time. He basically just at the time he should be done uh, before, or can I say, because there is a time limit for how long the organs can stay alive without blood. So if he didn't, like have this much his let's say vision of the body, he would most likely not be able to because they're missing basically one of the boys' arteries in the legs is shattered, and they don't have a synthetic one. So he has to take some artery from another part of the body, or the other leg, and basically like implant it in the other leg so the boy can get blood circulation through the blood body, and he actually managed to get all this done. It's really a work of art, I must say, the way he works. I wonder, because we see yeah, and but this kind of doesn't pay off for him because the father, he's been a big dick, because instead of coming with those 5 million, the father finds out that this Hasama, he is only an intern, so he shouldn't actually be allowed to fix his boy. That is, so if he was like going to the police, he could actually cause that so Hasama never could get his license. And yeah, that is actually what I think he is a pig. It's not that he only comes with 500 grand, uh, which he says take this money. It is because he says that because if it wasn't for Hasama, then his boy, he would be like, I would almost say a vegetable, uh, or basically he would be like the ultimate cripple. Or, well, he could still talk and hear, I presume, so he wouldn't be the ultimate, but very close to it. So yeah, he's kind of a dick. But of course, Hasma, he of course keeps his promise to the doctor, and pays him the 500 grand for borrowing the operation clinic. So yeah, he did this work for free. And the reason why he did it was because he saw himself in this kid. And when you say that, I wonder, because of all the stitches and stuff he has he self-inflicted those, or has he gone through a lot of operations to be saved from different illnesses as a child? I wonder. And also, what is? I know there's a symbolism with the the vines basically wrapping around his head. As far as I'm presuming, he means he is a martyr. Uh, but man, this series, I really, there didn't, shall we say, happen much other than the operation. So I couldn't really say that there was a lot of stuff. And so I couldn't say there was a lot of stuff happening. But the way we see it being done, of course, we don't see like him stitching together the arch, the blood vessels and fixing the what's called nerves, etc. We see them like in like beautiful choreographed moves that it, and it, oh man, it's really good. It's really good. And I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen in the next episode after watching this, because when I sat down and watched this in the bus, I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna watch this and see if it is any good, or if it's one of those shows that I can watch, like, Fafner, which I actually found out was, even though it's the second season, it's a sequel. So the sequel, it is the second season to, or the first season of it is a sequel to another one that has another prequel, who has another prequel. So I kind of have to go back if I want to understand the story completely, but I want to continue. But that is not important to Blackjack, young Blackjack. So yeah, I must say props to the studio who did this, because it's really good, and you should take a look of it. And I hope that I can do a review about, of this show today. But we will see, because I have actually some plans, because I checked the Bato, and there's a new chapter of a manga coming out that I really want to read today. I want to review it. I also want to give you a little update on some plans I have for Saturday, and some things about Monday and Tuesday today. So we will see, but hopefully, and also hopefully I can get Lance No Masquerade out today. But before I go too much off topic, I will stop this review and wish you all a good day, good night, until we see each other again, and cheers, guys.